was originally who I talked to about producing this way, like in the very, very, very beginning. And he mentioned Jack White and talked to him about something, and Jack was like indifferent about singing, but he offered his services to play drums or guitar or bass or whatever else I could be looking for. And I was like, at the time, it wasn't really a big deal any which way. And so it was very casual, and I mentioned that in an interview. And it turned into like this permanent thing. Right?
See, rumors get started, because I heard that Steve Lawrence and Eddie Gourmet told you to go fuck yourself.
No, well, you know, they told me to go fuck myself and die.
Oh, see? Rumors just, I don't even know how this happens.
Is this mine?
Yes.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
Certainly.
And also, we didn't mention Andrew Stockdale yet from Wolfmother. I love Wolfmother.
Andrew there was a small handful of people on the record that I only knew their voices. I'd never met them before. And Andrew was one of them. And I had this one song that I was like, this is really cool. And the guy from Wolfmother would be perfect. So I tracked him down. It took me like a month to track this guy down. It turned out he was in L.A. So
filing a restraining order against Slash.
Yeah, right.
This guy's following me, man.
Some guy in glasses won't leave me alone. Pestering me.
But he was recording Cosmic Egg like 2 blocks away from where I was working. Yeah, and so I went over there and we listened to the demo that I made, and then got together with some acoustic guitars, worked it out. He wrote the chorus, which was just like a great sort of chorus for that particular tune, and yeah, you know,
one of my favorite songs on the album.
It's a cool song.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I made it the single because, you know, I figured
By the Sword. It's called.
It's what I would consider a very cool song that's not like tailor made to be an obvious single. You know, and I wanted to go that road as opposed to like going, oh, here's the big single off the record. You know, I want something that'd be more rock and roll.
Sure.
Was it easy to put together, or was it kind of, did you give the singers a lot of leeway as far as how they wanted to interpret it, or were you pretty much hands-on?
No, you know, it was I put music together, sometimes an entire like arrangement from top to bottom. Sometimes it would just be 3 parts, you know, like a riff, a verse, and a chorus or whatever. And it was really an open template for vocalist to do whatever he wanted to. If he wanted to change the arrangement, if he wanted, like the Iggy Pop song and the Fergie song were exactly as I wrote them. Whereas with Kid Rock, we wrote that song from the ground up. You know, I had a couple riffs and a couple parts, and we really worked together hard, you know, to get it, the arrangement the way it is.
When you write, do you write lyrics first, or do you hear like a melody in your head first?
With this, I just let the singers write the lyrics.
Oh,
yeah. I try not to. I try to avoid writing lyrics if I don't have to. I have a couple suggestions on the record, but that's about it.
So you give them a beat and then just say, okay, could you put something to this? And
well, I give them some chords, some music.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I go like this. Write something, asshole.
I don't mean, I should have said that better. I mean, you give them the music.
I think that's the funniest question I've heard on this record so far.
So basically, you're saying Slash didn't do anything for his own record.
No, I didn't mean that.
Is that what
Write my
getting
song.
at?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. No, I mean, like, will you actually put the music down first and then say, okay, I want you to?
I put together a presentable demo, which is a stretch for me, but put together a presentable demo and just send it to them. And then they could do whatever they wanted.
Why do you find words are difficult? Because obviously you're a musician.
Right.
You're very good at what you do, especially musically writing. Why do you find words are more difficult?
Well, for me, it's a personality thing. I mean, I've done it before, and I'll do it when I have to do it. But I'm very sort of closed off when it comes to expressing my emotional being. You know, I'm not real communicative about that. So I hate putting my thoughts and feelings on paper, and I definitely don't want to sing about them. You know? So I try to leave it to people who do that for a living. If I can get away with it.
I was YouTubing.
Makes sense, yeah.
I was YouTubing Slash last night, and your version of Tangerine that's online.
Is there a version of
Oh, my
Tangerine
God.
online?
With-
That's with Andrew, right?
With Andrew Stockdale.
Wow, that was the first time we ever played it. So
Really? What, you put together some kind of Slash and Friends show?
Yeah, I've done a few of them.
Was that before the record?
That was
That led to the record, probably?
No. That was we did that show probably when I was in the studio actually recording it, and I'd already recorded By the Sword with Andrew at that point. But I've done a few of those shows where some of them before the record, some of them during. Did one in Norway, a couple in Vegas, one in Los Angeles.
It looked like it was a cool show.
It's fun.
And freaking Slash comes out with the double neck to do Tangerine. I'm like, right on. old school.
Yeah,
You don't
right.
see the double neck anymore.
That was actually one of the first Zeppelin songs. One of the first songs, actually, I ever learned was Tangerine.
I love that whole album.
Have you talked to any of these people about maybe popping out live and doing some of this shit?
Well, it's not something you can really plan ahead.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
If you're in the same city, you're both in the same city at the same time, whatever, then you try and pull it together.
Did you think about that though? Kind of that you made an album that you can't really tour.
Well, when I was making the record, I've never made a record that I didn't tour on. So like halfway through the making of it, I was like, I got to do something. So I started looking at singers that were, could be able to do like a few songs off of this record and do some of the other catalog stuff. And at the very end of making the record, the last song that I did was a song called Starlight with Miles Kennedy. And there was 2 songs on the record that I wasn't familiar with the guys that I ended up picking. By circumstances, I ended up working with them. Rocco DeLuca for the Saint is a Sinner and Starlight with Miles Kennedy. And I sent him this song out of the blue just because I couldn't figure out who would sing the song. And he sent me back Starlight, and I'm just blown away. So I talked to him about doing the tour, and he just happened to be on a break from Alter Bridge. And he's probably one of the most amazing, at least for me, new singers. He's been around for a little while, but one of the most phenomenal new singers I've heard in a really long time.
And no attitude, right?
Well, he's a guitar player. So the only reason
he's got to be cool.
The only reason he's a singer is because he had so many pain in the ass singers.
That
he started singing himself. So he's very.
At least you've never had to deal with that, though. That's the good thing.
Well, yeah. So
you guys are able to relate a little bit.
He and I get along really well.
I don't know what it is. Some singers, man. Jesus Christ.
I think it's just to be a singer. There's it's like as a guitar player, and that's my vehicle for expressing myself. But it is a tool that it's sort of connected to your body. But being a singer is something that's a whole personality. It's a whole delivery. It's a whole, like your whole physical being is involved, and you have to look people in the eye, and you're singing about what you feel about. It's probably a whole different mindset, and I can't relate anyway. So,
But a lot of guys pull it off without the attitude.
some people do. I mean, one of the great ones is Roger Daltrey. I mean, an amazing vocalist that doesn't spend too much time worrying about what he's doing. Sammy Hagar is another one. Been doing it forever, and it's just
Sammy
effortless.
Hagar.
I love it, Sammy.
Big fan
but
of Sammy Hagar.
I wasn't too happy with Chicken Foot.
Yeah, he wasn't a fan of the Chicken Foot record.
Not a big fan of the Chicken
Wow.
Foot.
And then Brian Johnson.
Just my opinion. That's all. And I'm a huge Sammy fan, so.
Yeah. Anyway, so Brian Johnson.